Hi everybody, Louise here with my 144 topics, and this topic this week is superfoods, but we're talking about miscellaneous superfoods. So we've just spoken about fruits and vegetables, so I'm just going to get in there and do this straight away because there's a bit here to cover in my 12 minutes. So the first one I'm going to talk about is mushrooms. Why mushrooms? Mushrooms are amazing foods. They're high in oligosaccharides, so basically a high branch-chained carbohydrates, which means that whenever we eat them we go into this immune response. So because we go into an immune response, then basically we are stimulating immune function. So there are things like 5 mushroom extract that we can use, which are very good for cancer, preventative, for healing viruses, illness, chronic disease and things like that. So mushrooms are really great. The other amazing thing about mushrooms is that they will not grow where there's fungicides. So they don't like pesticides and fungicides, so they like to grow in a clean environment. And the other amazing thing about mushrooms is the fact that they will actually detox the soil. So they're very good detox agents for the soil. Next superfood, alfalfa is our most high nutrient dense herb that exists, so we can talk about herbs another time. But the next one I'll talk about is sprouts. So sprouts are really high in vitality, they're high in enzyme activity, they're very high in nutrients, and they're very alkalizing. So I'm going to do some raw videos and we'll talk about more about that then. Almonds, whether you activate them or have them whole activated is preferred, and we will talk about that again. So activated almonds are very easy to do, just basically soak them in water. They are very alkalizing to the system. They also contain laetrile, which is your B17, which is your anti sort of cancer, low doses of cyanide as such. Do not get too freaked out about it, but they're also very anti-inflammatory and anti-spasmodic. Very good for reducing cholesterol, helping as heart tonics. Bee pollen. Now, bee pollen I tend to picture as being for basically men or debilitated men, or if there's any issues with impotence or anything like that. So it's very good for virility, very good for sterility, it's very good for strength. So it's very high. There's a broad spectrum of vitamins and minerals in there, high in all your B vitamins in there as well. Plus it's also got your A, C, D and E. It's also a very good source of protein. So if you're having some protein blends, then I like to use bee pollen in there if you're okay using bee pollen, but it will also help to reduce cholesterol. Now brewer's yeast is probably our best sources of B vitamins. So whether you're having Tarula yeast, brewer's yeast, this isn't the same as baker's yeast. It is, you probably ideally would get it in health food shops, but it's just can be also used as a flavouring agent. So I used to use it when I was making raw cheeses and savoury cheeses and things like that. And then you can basically put it in as a flavouring agent. So your pro-mites and your Vegemites and those sort of things will have them in there if they're nice to be eating. Now apple cider vinegar is basically a heal sort of agent. So whether you're rubbing it on your gout externally or on your arthritic joints externally, it's also very good for helping with skin conditions, shiny hair. Like there's lots and lots of uses of apple cider vinegar. Even washing your vegetables to reduce and remove some of the pesticides on them. So lots and lots of uses there. Now chia seeds. Now chia seeds are complete proteins. They are 20% protein, 34% oil, 25% fibre, and they've also got lots of antioxidants in them. Any foods, as I've mentioned before, that are high in colour, that have got like a dense colour on them, are actually very good for helping to the antioxidant abilities in them. So they have 4 times the amounts of essential fatty acids of any other grains at all. So quinoa and chia seeds are both on this list here, and they were used and traded because they were such a valuable commodity because of their high protein uses and their high nutritional uses in them. So chia has 64% ALA oils and flax has 55%. So, if you're vegan or vegetarian, it would be really, really important that if you're not getting, certain oils from fish or other sort of meats, that you actually start having some flax seeds, some chia seeds, and some walnuts would be really great. So chlorella is a great detox agent. Not only will it detox cadmium and lead and certain other metals as well, it will also help to detoxify PCBs, so plastics. So they boost immune system, healing, digestive, great detox agent. Is 45% protein, 20% fat and 20% carbohydrates. It will also help reduce radiation poisoning. It will also help reduce chronic disease. So just having this type of super algae into your system on a regular basis. So some of the studies have shown that, you know, when you take it for 7 days, it increases things by 3 times, but when you take it for 24 days, 7 times greater excretion of metals out of the system. So again, it's something that you're best off taking small amounts of on a regular basis. And the one along with that is a bioaccumulator is molasses. So molasses is, again, something that you're best having small amounts of on a regular basis and getting into a bit of a habit. So with my herbal blends, I just mix everything up. I put it all into one. So you're not having this. Basically 1 teaspoon, put it in there. Everything's basically in there. Next one, cinnamon. So cinnamon, because I've been doing a lot of more sugar-free eating at the moment, cinnamon is very great for stabilizing blood sugar, but it's also got that sweet taste. So you can use it as a flavoring agent. So just using the cinnamon powder in your foods can be very, very handy. It is a good sweetening agent. It is deemed that if you add honey to cinnamon and take it internally, then it's very good for reducing arthritic symptoms. Give it a go, see how it goes. Now eggs contain 9 essential amino acids, so they are a very good quality of protein. And of course your happy chooks, like my chooks that keep coming in my back door here, are preferable eggs to be having. So free range happy chickens are way better. They've got 6 grams of high quality protein in them, so they're also one of our best and highest sources of natural sources of vitamin D. There's not many sources of vitamin D in foods, but eggs tick the boxes there. Flaxseed, so when people talk about phytosterols and phytoestrogens and plant hormone foods, forget the soy, go for the flax. So if someone has recommended that you need some, you know, plant estrogens or whatever it is, then, you know, go for flax. Flax is has shown to reduce hot flashes in menopause by 60%. Flax is also hugely versatile, so maybe we'll do some videos showing that. So flax meal can be used to do a whole range of amazing things that you can actually use it for. It's very high in omega-3s. It will reduce inflammation. It will help mend bones, repair bones, reduce incidence of cardiovascular disease. It will reduce cholesterol, and it will also be very good for reducing the incidence of prostate cancer. Yeah, great source of food. Probiotics. Probiotics is a big subject, so I tend to give preference to kefir and probiotics that I actually ferment at home. That would be my preferred choice. I actually find the effects that I have within my own personal body happier and healthier. Though if you've ever had any antibiotics of any shape or form, it's really vital and important that you take some probiotics after that. Children that are not born vaginally, again, take some probiotics. It's really important to have that system good and replenished. Quinoa was called the gold of the Incas. So again, a very high amino acid profile, but it's also high in methionine, cysteine and lysine, which is quite uncommon in a lot of vegetables. So when you combine, you know, pumpkin and other sort of vegetables with the quinoa, it's a very good broad spectrum food. Spirulina, there's only over 35 different species of spirulina. It contains 65 to 71% protein. So, you know, when people are having protein shakes, just get some spirulina, put it in your water bottle and drink it. Get used to the flavour. It is very good for you. So it's high in your B's and K's. Wheat germs, one of the best sources of vitamin E. Yogurt is very good for boosting immune system. Go for pot set yogurts and forget all the low fat and all those other stuff. Look for something that's set in the pot. And then turkey is very good for increasing our serotonin and our happy hormones. And then finally, last one on my list here is walnuts. which is very much brain food and is very good sources of oil to be having. And then salmon. So if you were happy to eat fish, then salmon would be good, though I would stay away from farmed salmon and get to as naturally caught salmon as possible because of issues of what they're fed, and sometimes they feed them dyes to change the colour of the flesh. So we think it looks like salmon, it's not. So that's my subject for this week, talking about superfoods. Feel free to ask me any questions if you've got any questions about foods. So part of my beliefs and philosophies is very much about the fact of using food to basically make yourselves feel better. And I do understand that in this day and age where we can be raping the soils and finding that we're losing nutritional value in the soils, there's still other foods like the algae and the spirulinas and the chlorellas and other foods that we can incorporate into our diet on a regular basis. So remember, small amounts frequently, like, you know, keeping regular amounts into the diet is always the best thing to be doing. So if you ever want any help or advice with some herbal mixes that I make, which are just like everything all into one, let me know. Very good for energy, balancing hormones, gut healing, anything like that. So until then, I will be back next week. You have a fabulous time, and I will see you always in happiness and in health. Till then, take care. Bye.